firstly, welcome to HT's OTT Play. It's my pleasure to have you here for interaction, especially for a project that
Thank
is one of
you.
the most anticipated releases of this year. I'm talking about
True.
Heeramandi, the Diamond Bazaar.
Yes.
So tell me, what's been the
Yes.
initial response? Ever since the trailer has come out, the look posters are out.
Exhilarating. Exhilarating, overwhelming, unimaginable, indescribable. I can go on and on. I think this has been the most awaited project of of the year of the last 10 decades, maybe. I don't know, ever since the world started. I mean, Mr. Bansali creates a world which is out of this world. He creates a world within a world, and his world is unique in the sense of its character building, character development, and story, plot, background score, sets, costumes, what have you. I mean, it's cinema in its purest and truest form. The kind of cinema that K. Asif gave us, the Kamal Amrohi, Mehboob Khan, Bimal Roy, Raj Kapoor, Gurdat, or, if you look in the West, then you have James Cameron, you have Coppola, you have Christopher Nolan. He's the best of all. I mean, he's got the best from all of them, and he's the man today who I would easily call a maestro, an
Mm.
auteur, a virtuoso. So it's great working with this man. When there are only a couple of milestones in one's life, no matter who you are, there would be three, four milestones that you can talk about
Mm.
very proudly. And for me as an actor, when I started with Utsav was my first milestone.
Mm.
And after 3.5 decades that I've got an opportunity to work in another milestone,
Mm.
which is Heeramandi.
Yeah.
So I've got more than what I could ask for. I mean, what more does an actor need than to just be working on one of the greatest projects? And it's created waves all over the world because it's
Of
coming on
course.
Netflix and it's been going to so many countries. I think hundreds of countries, and so just everyone I meet, everywhere I go, I got like flooded with calls, and I'm sure all the actors of Heeramandi are going through the same motions. And it's a feeling that is, as I said, I'm exultant, but I can't be put into words.
Words.
It's something which is very surreal.
Yeah, that's true. But sir, taking you back to the time, when the script of Hiramandi was narrated to you, what were your first thoughts about the subject and what was the one thing that kind of drew you towards doing Hiramandi?
Brilliant, brilliant. I think taking on a world which is nearly forgotten. People don't know about that world
Mm.
because, as I said, there is a world that exists within the world.
Mm.
There is a society that is within the society, and the society of the Tabayafs.
Mm.
And to take it on and present it most cinematically. I mean, otherwise, if you look at Hiramandi, you probably wouldn't like to,
Mm.
go there for the second time. It's
Yeah.
sort of ramshackle,
Mm.
dilapidated, and all of that. But he could, from his imagination, create something so aesthetic,
Mm.
something so acceptable, something so beautiful. So when he was narrating the character, I could imagine all the characters in front of me. I could imagine myself as the solicitous, supercilious Nawab. All Nawabs were supercilious, and that's what made them Nawab.
Yeah.
They had a chip on their shoulder, and this interaction of Nawabs and Tafars, it's such a lethal mix. It's a heady cocktail, you
Mm.
know. So both of them coming from different echelons of society, different strata of society. When they come together, what happens? And there's a fight for the throne, a fight for succession. There is love, there is intrigue, there is betrayal, there is revenge, there is deceit, there is freedom, there is struggle, there is liberation. There's so many layers to it. So only Mr. Bansali, only, believe me, is the last of the Mughals. And he can handle something so efficiently and so competently.
But so if I have to ask you, how is it like to work under his leadership? A lot of people who work with him often say that he's a taskmaster on set. How
He
true
is,
is that?
it is.
Hmm.
He is a taskmaster, and you better be a taskmaster. You better be a taskmaster because it's only then you can reach perfection.
Yeah.
If you are somebody who has this attitude of, we'll manage, nobody's going to see this, it's okay, you don't need another take, kaun dekhta hai, kaun parwah? No. I think that's what makes Bhansali the Bhansali, the Sanjay Leela Bhansali that he is.
Mm.
And it's because he's a disciplinarian, he's a stickler for perfection, he's a taskmaster, he's a slave driver. You know, you
Mm.
have to you have to have that attitude of a king to kind of run your kingdom. And he's all of that, but he's very soft at heart. He's a wonderful human being who pampers all his actors to the hilt. It's only when you go wrong. You see, what happens is that when you have reached a certain level of excellence, you expect others to fall in line, with some degree of perfection. It's
True.
only when you're going wrong that he becomes impatient. But I think being a taskmaster, a tough taskmaster, is the biggest virtue that you
Mm.
can have. It's a sign of a great filmmaker. And that madness, that junoon,
Mm.
to be possessed on the set, you know, I haven't seen it in anyone, but that kind of zest.
Yeah. But also, sir, coming to your character Zulfikar, tell me, did you have to undergo any special prep for it, and what were the challenges that you faced, while you were shooting for the series?
You see, all these characters that we talk about are part of our society.
Mm-hmm.
So now, or maybe in the past, or somewhere, or through movies or theater, you have seen and interacted with them. You have a great reference point. There have been historical period films made in India and abroad. You see their demeanor, their stance, their adab, their adaigi, their attitude. Uh, uh, so, you in a way, consciously or subconsciously, you are acquainted with that world. You are acquainted with those characters. And as far as just getting deeper into that,
Mm-hmm.
there is internet with vast repertoire of references and
Content.
knowledge. So, and of course, with Mr. Bansali being at the helm of affairs, if there is any problem, we'll help you out with that. But as an actor, with my kind of experience, and I'm drawn towards this world, this period dramas and these characters and Shero Shairi and all of that. So for me, it was like coming home,
Yeah.
So because I played Sahir Ludhianvi, I played Sadat Hassan Manto in two
Mm-hmm.
of the plays that I'm doing. So I'm well versed with the Zaban and
Mm-hmm.
with the Adab and with the characters.
Of course. But also the another special part about Heeramandi is that you got to work with
Yes,
your son, Adhyayan. Tell me,
yes,
how was it
yes.
to work with him? And recently in an interview, he said that, initially when he auditioned, he wasn't selected. But what was your reaction, when you got to know that he's on board for the same project?
It's a long story and it's a very delightful story.
Mm.
Um, you know, Arjun was going through the darkest phase of his life as an actor, and it happens to the best of us.
Yes.
There are phases that you go through. There are
Mm.
times you're successful, sometimes you're not, sometimes you're rejected, sometimes there are rumors about you,
Mm.
unnecessary. It's like a Trojan horse working, somebody out of just jealousy or anything will spread so many things
Mm.
about you that the others will not touch you, the 10 feet barge pole. There are many ups and downs and peaks and valleys, and Arjun was going through that.
Mm.
In the midst of all that, of an actor who is probably just being edged out, for someone like Mr. Bansali to repose so much of confidence in him, and he says, he's the boy I was looking for. You can understand that, when the news was broken to him that he's doing it, he nearly probably fainted with joy. We are coming down Shimla and we
Yeah.
are going through all these, uh, you know, um, absolutely decrepit roads, and it was under construction and going through these tunnels. And by the time he came out of the tunnel, he had got Bhansali's film. So I said, metaphorically, the
Mm.
tunnel was your life that you were going through.
Yeah.
Dark, clueless, and like a deep dungeon. And the light at the end of the tunnel was Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Because in that tunnel, he gets a call for an audition. He stops the car. He was on a different car. You have to stop. You have to stop. I said, what happened? Some accident? Are you not feeling well? He says, no. I got a call from Mr. Bhansali. I have to audition right now. I have to audition right now. I said, cool it, cool it. You can go to the hotel and do it. No, I have to do it right now. Otherwise, I'll miss out on the opportunity. He stands by the roadside, all gooey, all sweaty, crushed clothes, and he records his audition tape, sends it, and on the basis of that, Mr. Bansali chose him. So, if you have the talent, you don't need makeup, hair, clothes, this, that. It's raw talent that people see.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, when we came home, and after 2, 3 days, we're discussing, and he says, I cannot contain my joy and my excitement. Oh my God. And it's providence and it's fortuitous, serendipity that I have got this. And I said, yes, but don't you think that there's another actor in the house? And I'm jealous that you got it and I haven't.
Yeah.
And as though on cue, my phone rang and I get a call from his production company that Mr. Bansali wants me. So you can imagine it was a double whammy, a double joy in the house that both of us working individually as actors. And for me, see, I'm an experienced actor and I've worked with the best people. But for Adhyayan, it was a new journey, and especially as you said that to know someone like Mr. Bansali as a taskmaster, he was scared shitless. He said, my first day, I'm going to shit in my trousers. Yeah, what's going to happen? So I made him rehearse the whole night. And the next day, when he went for the shot, it was a 5-minute long shot for which Mr. Bansali personally got up with tears in his eyes, hugged him, and okayed the take, the first take, and then picked up the phone and called me and he praised the boy to the skies. And I was like literally crying this side. I thought, what more can a father can ask for? There I was a father who was reacting to his son's achievement. So I said, you have done me proud and much more. And I said, this you take as your citation and this you take as the biggest award, bigger than any Oscar, Filmfare, National Award, which you can, carry with you all your life, that Mr. Bansali has praised you and going on praising you so much. So that was beautiful. And I had this magnificent role and magnificent scenes with them. So for me, it was also a joyous sort of a ride. And we have great respect for each other and each other's talent, Mr. Bansali and me. So, there were not many instructions for me as an actor that he kept in mind that, he just basic outline and I just went ahead and did it. And there's some of the scenes which are bizarre, outrageous, because, Mr. Bansali, Sanjay has this habit of when you go absolutely prepared on the set with your lines, he'll go and change everything.
It's
when
like
the camera is on, he changes everything, the entire scene. So for a normal actor, he will be doing a headstand. At least I have a strong theater background. I can quickly adapt myself and learn the lines and I say it. I can improvise and things like that. For other actors, it becomes like a sort of a cul-de-sac and like, my God, how do I do it? But that's what makes him who he is. And the other actors so learn to also get used to this whole process. So it was great fun, and Adhyayan and I really enjoyed. And he was so impressed by Adhyayan that he was doing the role that he gave him another role. And everybody said, but he's already doing one role. He said, no, the younger version of Shekhar, Adhyayan will only do it. So for the other actors like Manisha and all, their younger version, another actor has been chosen. For my role, Adhyayan was chosen, knowing the fact that he was doing another role. So it's a double whammy, as I said. So his joy now knows no bounds. We are all very eagerly awaiting for the audience's response, and I'm sure that he's going to come out with flying colors. And I'm sure with that acceptance, will give him the kind of courage and a pedestal that every actor needs, to go further.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, quickly now I'll take names of your co-stars from Heeramandi and you have to describe them in one word.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Starting with Adhyayan.
Raring to go.
Fardeen Khan.
Old wine.
Tahasha.
Excitement personified.
Manisha Koirala.
Silent but beautiful.
Sonakshi Sinha.
Peppy.
That's great. Aditi Rao Haitri.
Ethereal.
Sharmin Sehgal.
Hugely talented.
And finally, Richa Chadha.
The biggest surprise.
That's great, sir. But sir, before we wrap this interview, you have spent a considerable amount in this industry. You have delivered so many successful projects. Today, when you look at your journey in a hindsight, the 3.5 decades that you have spent, is there anything you wish you could have done differently? A project that you probably wanted to take up but couldn't, or probably a project that you did but you regret now?
You know, the worst sin that you can indulge in is dwelling in the past. I wish I had done that. You should have a bucket list of what you want to do, not a bucket that has been kicked around and gone and forgotten. You know, there's no point. I wish I had done this or this. That's gone. It's part of the past. I think the greatest joy is to live in the moment, and whatever happened for the best. That's what contentment is all about. To have faith in the fact that whatever is happening for the very best. So whatever came my way, my gratitude to the universe, to God, to my family, friends, and everyone. What couldn't, it was not meant to be. So there's no point even thinking about it. I wish I could have been part of everything that happened. That was the best that happened in this world, and I wish I was a part of it. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way, right? But I have to see what I am getting and what I will be getting and what I have gotten. So I'm very happy with that. So no complaints at all.
That's great. So that's
किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, कहीं जमीन तो कहीं आसमान नहीं मिलता.
Absolutely beautiful, sir.